Okay, so I'm Mark Smith and I'm part of MS Communities. We're a team of people that look after all the user groups that use Microsoft technologies across New Zealand. Okay, MS Communities is designed to help end users that are using any Microsoft technology. So at this event, you know, naturally SharePoint's the topic of choice. And so across New Zealand, there's various user groups that meet. We basically provide a legal structure for those user groups. We provide funding to them. So for example, if you have a user group running, you can expense claim $8 per head for those events. So it kind of like gives you some supporting infrastructure. We provide a website for each user group, a method of tracking who's coming along, what resources you need, that type of thing. We organise sponsors, so therefore giving out prizes and things like that. So anything that you need, you want to get a user group underway that touches a Microsoft technology, we're kind of like the tool you use to facilitate that happening. So SharePoint directly, as in most of the people on my board are all SharePoint implementers. So naturally it touches all our businesses. Directly for us would be around document management and communication to all the user group leaders. We use SharePoint as that communication tool. So I believe it's training. Just at a conference last week and someone asked the question, what if you train people and they leave? And the response was, well, what if you don't train them and they stay? Okay, so for any bit of software, your user adoption is only as good as people feel comfortable with using it. So I think training is probably the fundamental. If it's been designed well, architected well, training for user adoption's, primary importance. Efficiency. I'd say efficiency is the biggest thing. Automation of mundane tasks, workflow automation, things that need to be checked but are often forgotten. You can make sure that the systems remind you at appropriate times, and SharePoint's great for that. Social and SharePoint, wow, that's a hard one for me because I'm actually a CRM person, so we do a lot of plugging into SharePoint, but naturally in any business now, social is affecting every part of an organization. And really it affects in two major areas. It's the internal social of the organization. So where email was traditionally a communication platform, there's now tools available in SharePoint that allow that communication to happen inside your organization using a common method like IM, or a link integration, that type of thing. And of course then you've got your social outside your organization. So those tweet streams in, it's the Facebook feeds and news walls, that type of thing. And even LinkedIn integration these days is then how do you manage that customer interaction channel. And so, it's bringing the whole environment into the one place. So it's a, common environment for the user. Yeah. So I'm big on social. I'm a big Twitter person. Have a lot of followers around the world, and Twitter's my thing in the social arena. But now, you can manage so much about your brand proactively, using social tools that are embedded into SharePoint. So yeah, very powerful. And, I think there's a lot of companies don't get that yet. They still think it's to hook up with your friends at the nightclub or, to say what you did this weekend. Where, in my business, I probably attribute over $100,000 worth of business just through my Twitter account. So it's definitely a business tool. It worked more in the cloud. That's got to be a big one. So at the moment, you've got a version of SharePoint running in Office 365. We want more of the enterprise features deployed inside that. And naturally, it's on the roadmap, so we're gonna see that happen. So I was at spoke last year's about this one. It's kind of like every year it seems to come up a level. Definitely in the people I've spoken to around who've attended that are saying they enjoyed that this one is quite focused more on end user. It's not so deep dive technical. And there's a bunch of people, more and more business decision makers coming along that the tech goes over their head and they're saying the fit this time was just right on. That's some of the feedback I've had. So that's great. It's going in the right direction. Cheers.